Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Hey everybody, this is TruePowerIsMine, and this is TPIMSR Live, the People's Show. Just got out of meditating. I was trying to figure out the right words to use to start tonight's program. And a phrase from Judge Joe Brown keeps on echoing crystal clear through my head. No one respects a people on their knees. Brother Marty, welcome to the show. Brother Kent, welcome to the show. Peace and power, unity and victory. Let's go. For those who don't know, these are side-by-side pictures sent in to me from a confidential informant last night after the broadcast, and I've been reviewing them, and wow. This is Amber Guyger's apartment, all right? You open up the door and you're going to hit this table. This is Botham Jean's apartment, Boham Jean or whatever. No table, just flip-flops, open floor plan. Sister Kathy, Brother David, peace and power. Unity and respect. So for everyone out there saying, oh, you know, this could have been a horrible tragedy mistake. Then here's another gut punch. Apparently, and this is coming from my confidential informant, the young man that testified, it was a intended deal. That's why there's nobody that they can track down yet. Now, I could be wrong on that. Maybe they got the people in custody already, hopefully so. But now we have two young men gone. If we were keeping score, it would be 2-0. If we were keeping score, it'd be 2-0. Thank God we're not. Because once again, to win is to lose. To win is to lose. And the karmatic debt, a little more wine of wrath is being poured in it. A little more. At least 2 more drops. Drip, drip. But you guys want to look towards your politicians. Let's look at the word politician. I like this second example. A person who acts in a manipulative and deceptive way, typically to gain advantage within an organization. There's the politics of race, yeah. 2-0. And America is being made great again. You know, I happened to listen to last night's broadcast. It was a really powerful one. And thank you once again for those who have shared that broadcast. The power of the mind is limitless. The governor of the mind is you, me, and our environment. Right now, the environment in which you find yourself in is quite literally telling you you can be organ harvested. You can damn near be murdered with impunity. And if you survive all that, you still have a gauntlet of psychological, dogmatic, religious jargon to overcome as well. And if that's not enough, you still have economic viability concerns. Each and every one of you deserve a medal. everyone living through this deserves counseling and a medal. Talk about post-traumatic stress disorder. What about present dramatic stress disorder? Like actually living it. Vigilant Watcher, welcome to the show. And Determined, my one, welcome to the show. Brother Frederick's in the house. A lot of people are popping in. This is really good. Why I have this picture, why I chose it specifically, is I want you to recognize this man is not necessarily evil. This man is just a man. He's a politician. And what is a politician? A person who acts in a manipulative and deceptive way, typically to gain advancement within an organization. The war of attrition shows you that over the longevity of time, not within a rapid succession, this isn't a revolutionary process. It has revolutionary results, no doubt, but it's not a revolutionary process. At the end of the day, and I'm pitting his wealth against everybody in the chat room and everyone who can hear me at this present moment, unless we have a secret billionaire, unless Mackenzie Bozon's up in here with a secret name listening to this program right now. His wealth capacity outsurpasses yours, meaning he can get the best bomb shelter. He can have the best gear. He can have multiple security agents. He can have this and that and the third. But I think the hope that most people are praying on is that he has within his heart the capacity to truly love humanity and do what's best for all peoples. But how is this possible? And why would it be possible? Hold on. Let's go to this. I thought I went right here. You have this Planned Parenthood abortion mega clinic. All right. And this is their words, not mine. In Metro East. That's a code word for these parts as East St. Louis. All right. When we have a situation where there's an industry that is targeting people based upon economics and race, but targeting them in a fundamentally devastating way, because babies being processed, and I'm using these words to facilitate thoughts in your mind. When a young baby, or you know what, let me be really professional. Let me use their words, but I need a visual aid. I need a visual aid. Okay. I'm going to be totally politically correct. Hopefully this video will not be banned like the other one, last night's broadcast. So notice I haven't been cursing or getting rather excited. Now, with my visual aid, I want to point at this facility. When babies, or excuse me, so hard. When fetuses are processed in this facility with state-of-the-art techniques, over 98% of the body, 2% minus human error, can be processed and recovered for later industrial applications. This will be a shareholder's bread and butter. We project 11,000 fetuses processed yearly at this one facility, up a staggering 27% from our next biggest facility. This is what it's all about, yeah. This is what it is all about. If it don't make dollars, by God, with these devil-loving, death-conjuring folks, it don't make sense. If it doesn't harm you, if it doesn't cause you medical ailment, which they have the cure, just like they have the answer for your political and social ills, then it doesn't make sense. And the sooner we collectively realize this, the sooner we'll all understand exactly what we're dealing with. To the core. Now, we look at the United States military capability. And the reason why I have this modern warship is to let you guys know, once again, using these visual aids to facilitate a thought in your mind, to let you understand just how important maritime power truly is. Without the United States basically commanding military presence and control over all major oceanic seaways, no country in the history on earth has ever achieved this feat, but we have. We have. And this dominance is only, here's the hard part, this dominance is only being propped up by the exploitations of you men and women on the homeland traditionally. Without your exploitation, the funds apparently, and once again, folks, funds are always created out of thin air. So no matter what's motivating them to print the money is still quite literally being printed out of thin air. But they still have to exploit you. We can have the government print up its own money and then divvy out the money to countries who would do, or companies who would do the research. No, we have to have a private company divvy us the money, and then we turn back and give to the private company in so many other different ways. It funnels back to them, and we have to pay the interest on that, ensuring that we'll be indebted to these people forever. You will never pay off the debt. Never. Because if I give you $100 and you have $0, where are you going to get the extra? And you have to come to me to get any dollars, or 20s or 50s or hundreds or $5. Doesn't matter. The banknote number, I print it up. You will always be indebted to me, and that's where we're at. That's why these ships go to war for corporate interests. Always have, and unfortunately always will. Now we have the police deal. What I mean by the police deal, I sincerely hope that whoever killed the latest victim in the tragedy in Dallas, and that's what it should be called, the tragedy in Dallas, is a tragedy that people don't respect the initial victim's life. And it's a tragedy that, well, really, the second victim is really not being spoken of. I mean, you know what? I'm going to put my web browser where my mouth is, okay? And let's see if mainstream media, okay, we're going to use Google, and let's see if mainstream media has picked up on this. Okay, I believe the young man was Joshua Brown. The murder of Joshua Brown, Dallas, Texas. No, neighbor, key witness, shot to death. All right. Yeah, so 20 hours. CBS has talked about it. Hold on. Let me see if we have a NBC has talked about it. This little brother here. This is so sad, yeah. Let's look at his face. And he's wearing Dragon Ball Z shirt to court. Wow. Wow. You would actually wear a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt to court. I mean, knowing you're going to be on TV, you wouldn't try to put on a suit and tie. I mean, I get it, but hold on. What's going on here? Where's the volume? Okay.
In the Amber Guyger trial, police now confirm Joshua Brown was shot multiple times Friday night in the parking lot of an apartment complex on Cedar Springs. That's about 5 miles from the Southside Flats, where Guyger killed Botham Jean a year ago. Now, Brown testified in Guyger's trial that he heard voices right before the shooting, but couldn't make out what they were saying. Witnesses did report a car speeding away after Brown was shot. So far, there are no arrests, and police aren't saying anything about a motive. Lee Merritt is the Jean family attorney and now also represents the Brown family.
Well, it's troubling to say the least. Anytime someone is killed, it's sad. But this murder that happened this close to a major trial against a police officer raises a lot of eyebrows. It caught me off guard.
This afternoon, Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson tweeted out, quote, "I trust Dallas police will conduct a thorough investigation into the death of Joshua Brown. Until we know more, I encourage everyone to refrain from speculation." He went on to say, "If you have information, please share it with our investigators. Dallas will never be a city that tolerates acts of violence."
Well,
when you think of the great heroes of Texas, Mahatma Gandhi may not be the first.
He shouldn't be one. Mahatma Gandhi, hold on. I was about ready to go somewhere else. I'm so glad that this came on. Mahatma Gandhi was a pedophile racist, if you want to say it like that. I mean, sleeping with family members, claiming he's celibate, testing his celibacy. Definitely racist if you look at some of his writings when he was in South Africa as basically a civil servant to the crown. Said black folks were smelly and stinky and lived like pigs or something to that effect. And see the psychological play down in Dallas. Dallas will not be a city that basically blah blah blahs. And then, I think we might want to honor Mahatma Gandhi. You see how the psychological play talking about MK Ultra? Here it is right in front of your face, y'all. Oh, I'm all hitting stuff. Hold on. Here it is right in front of your face. Let's play this little segment. I wasn't going to, but might as well now hear what they got to say.
First person that comes to mind. But when you see a tribute like this, when you think of the great heroes of Texas, Mahatma Gandhi may not be the first person that comes to mind. But when you see a tribute like this, with an appearance by the governor,
everything is bigger in Texas, including Gandhi.
It's hard to ignore.
It's hard to ignore, ain't it, folks? I'm so glad we found this little gem. It's hard to ignore. Many of you guys know the truth about Mr. Gandhi. Many of y'all know his disdain for us in particular. And I guess it is appropriate that down there where apparently in Texas you can, pop black folks and it's no big deal. Well, I mean, it's a big deal, but it's no real big deal. And brothers and sisters, you happen to testify, you better watch your back. That's the overall message. Come on, that's what's in between the lines. What's up, Brother Pickett? Welcome to the show. Peace. This is what I'm saying, man. And you're right, Sister Barbara. Bubba Dick Gregory did tell us and did try to warn us of what we are all up against. But a lot of people don't want to recognize that. A lot of people want to fall into this. Look how this fool's smiling face.
Fine. But when you see a tribute like this, with an appearance by the governor.
Hold on. The spirit's moving me. Now, remember when Judge Joe Brown said that Kamala Harris is a Brahmin of the Brahmin caste out of the, Indian culture? They love some Gandhi. That's why it's not hard for her to lock up parents for children being truant. I don't understand how come those parents just didn't take their kids out of school and start homeschooling them. That's what they should have done. Just took their child out of the public school system and started homeschooling. Do you understand psychologically and socially what would happen if the nation went on a school voucher program saying that instead of what the average student gets what 15, 20,000 per year to attend public school, each and every child. All right. That's how much it costs to run that particular school system. About 20,000, I think, per kid. We can look it up later. But that $20,000 was given to a parent or a guardian to buy computers, to pay for internet service, and to instruct that child, maybe even over an internet open source site designed for educational goals and needs for each grade. Could you picture what a game changer that would be for the lower tier of society, the ones who are having all the babies? And it would be a win-win. The true public schools could just basically be private schools that, you know, the rich folks pay for and fund themselves so that they can have their little secret cliques and all that good shit. But the rest of society can actually grow and develop. And this guy looks remarkably like George W. Bush. Like he could be a, you know, maybe a fourth or fifth generation clone. But let's play this.
Everything is bigger in Texas, including Gandhi.
It's hard to ignore his importance and influence.
Mahatma Gandhi was an Indian, but he does not only belong to India, he belonged to the whole world.
North Texas, home to more than 250,000 Indian Americans, is also home to the largest Gandhi.
They so happy. Today we white, y'all. Us Brahmins.
Memorial in the U.S.
Disgusting.
And it's
It doesn't look like that could be Camilla Harris. There, bam, bam. Now you're starting to see it. I mean, isn't it kind of insulting? Like we have all these chameleon candidates. Elizabeth Warren. Oh, whoa. I'm Native American. Camilla Harris. Yeah, I'm down with the people. Yeah, I'm giggity with it. Giggity. Jiggity. But it's all fakery. It's all scam. And we don't have to get into the Clintons because I don't really want to pay the toll to jump into that rowboat. Biden. I mean, I guess we can probably talk smack about Bernie. He's probably quite literally on his last leg unless they can do some Rockefeller move. Accidentally, you know, somebody has an accident and you find a young 18-year-old heart, put no boy, keep him going for another 15, 20 years. The culture of death, y'all. And whether you want to accept this fact or not, and I'm speaking just locally of the United States, is it was not for the conviction on a spiritual level in the hearts of many Christian Protestants, the Civil War would have never occurred. If those people had the hearts of the people of today, that war would have never occurred. No, fuck that. Keep them slaves. And we're going to make money, but now we just have to kind of privatize the wealth coming from all these plantations down south. That's what they would have done to be able to compete. Then forever, when it comes to the cheapest labor in the world, the United States would have it. Because that's what's happening. All these companies are moving their actual facilities that manufactures the product, whatever, to low wage countries. But they'll sell the end product at top dollar in so-called developed countries, first world countries. It's just a game, y'all, because once those people start getting that technology and start understanding how to put things together, next thing you know, you're going to be dealing with a juggernaut that don't speak your language, but they got all the instruments of death. And they got their own culture of death as well. Each society, each so-called race of people do. I want to finish this Mahatma Gandhi. Now I want to get back to what I was talking about.
Where hundreds gathered Sunday to pay tribute to him to commemorate the 150th anniversary of his birth. There was talk of his legacy of peace and nonviolence.
A simple man has the power
I mean, I guess it's easy to be nonviolent when you own all the 7-Elevens in a city. I get it. Well, you're making that cheddar. Life is always better. This is what I'm talking about when I say the game of attrition. That guy holding that microphone will gun you down in the street if he was given the green light to, because he's accepted. And then once we're all annihilated, he will be dealt with on the trains. And then after he's all annihilated, then they'll bring out the DNA tester and require everybody to be tested and see what you're really about on a genetic level. And those who don't cut the mustard, you guys will be annihilated. And then the ones who are left will basically breed themselves into a situation where the whole system will collapse biologically. And then they have to send somebody back in time to start the process over again. And we have to relive this stupid ass misery over and over and over and over and over. Apparently forever. Unless you try to opt out. But once again, if you're not in the power structure, you cannot opt out of this. You can try. Try to denounce your, and now forgive me, Brother David, but try to denounce your blackness. You can try, but it's not going to fare too well for you. We would be better off accepting the reality of the situation we find ourselves all in collectively. Facilitating some real discussions, more than just mere lip salt, because it can't just be a vision home plan. Damn it. How many more pie in the skies do we have to endure? I'm asking you, brothers and sisters, seriously, how many more pies in the skies do we have to really endure before we realize no one respects a people on their knees? Point blank. Point blank. No one respects people on their knees. Welcome to the show, Brother Troy. Brother Frederick. Peace and power to you both. All I want to see is when this is coming up, it's because somebody who was committing a crime, injuring a woman or a child or another human being or another man, they had to pay the price. I don't want to see that tape come up over a good, decent human being basically being assassinated for a ritual, for spiritual gratification, and the perpetrator. Now, I know that's a terrible, hard thing to stop. How could those good folks in North Carolina really have stopped Dylan Roof prior to what happened? How could they have stopped him? Not let him in the church? He would have pulled out his piece right there and start popping. Mom and dad, maybe not so much hate-filled situations, because he learned to hate from somewhere. Now, true enough, a kid can grow up and just have their own ideals, but typically they're shaped, they're homed in by their early years, by their parents' instructions, their uncles and cousins' input. So when you see one of these extreme haters and you look at the people he comes from, you're going to find haters all up through there. Now, they may be smart haters when the cameras come around. Oh, we don't know why he did this. We would never. But when the cameras go, it's inward this, she baboon that, Mr. Monkey the, and all the rest of it. We have to get to a point, boys and girls, to where we're saying, maybe it's time for all of us to pack up our shit and go. What? Maybe it's time for all of us to quite literally pack up our shit and get the fuck out of this country. Leave it behind. But then I ask you, brothers and sisters, where the fuck you gonna go on this planet where you ain't gonna be dealing with white supremacy yet again? But with even more probably hostile natives willing to keep that thing going and see you destroyed. Where can you go? That's why I say fuck leaving any fucking where. You fight for what's right here. You fight for what's right here. You gotta go somewhere and have to try to get acclimated to something else where these motherfuckers eating high off the hog. Are you out my mind? This is the land of our people. Our DNA is tied to North America. This isn't just some little waypoint on some boat ride. Get the fuck out of here. We're finding DNA traces going back 20, 30,000 years. But we want to just keep on falling for the okie doke. Keep on falling for the new science report. Wait till they release Roots Part 2, huh? Because y'all know Roots was a lie, right? It was a whole joke. Talk about MK Ultra projects. There you go. Designed to really solidify the whole, we brought you all over on a boat. Heck, most of the white people here didn't even really come from a boat. What? Most of them have been inbreeding with the Northern Indians and other subgroups all this time, increasing the rank. So that's why I say, after they do with all of us obvious non-whites, they're going to hit those fools with the DNA scanner, and then they'll deal with them one at a time. Beep, 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 beep. And then once they're all done, then that's when you're going to have that genetic bottleneck. But they don't see it coming. They never do. But it's all well and good. Because like I said, when you're winning out of fear and hate, at the end of the day, that is your mistake. What else do I got here? I don't even know. Oh, that was Jordan. I was going to... By the way, that I have to try to reschedule that whole thing. I don't know. I mean, I love having guests on the show. I'm the first one to say I love chopping it up with intellectually stimulating, interesting people. I find it awesome. But it's so frustrating. This is why I hate trying to make a show and announce it a week or two, because something always happens. Once again, this isn't a quote-unquote legitimate news source. I guess if I was Al Jazeera or CNN, Fox News, or Sky News UK, or Australia Channel 7, then, I could do all that. But seeing how I'm just a guy broadcasting from my Missouri studios in front of a live studio audience, well, I don't have that. What I do have is a great deal of knowledge that's being shared by you, the viewers, by the interesting guests we've had on, and then by my unique perspective of the world. Yes, I will admit, when I first started the show, I was very idealistic. I was very, well, I guess you would say almost rose-colored glasses. But now, friends, unfortunately, playtime's over. We truly are coming to the end of the road. And if you notice on this channel, we don't talk about Nairobi, Planet X, for one, because they've been talking about for the past 20 years. And for two, once again, there ain't going to be no aliens coming to save us, Sister Barbara. The only aliens that can save us is us. If we don't want to do this, and history has kind of shown that we kind of don't, then there's only one inevitable conclusion. Choo choo. All aboard. And I ain't talking about Thomas the Train. I'm talking about Dachau the Train. If you don't think there's more Amber Guygers out there waiting to make the news, you're sadly mistaken. If you don't think there's more Dylan Roofs plotting the next attack, you're sadly mistaken. And if you don't think there's millions upon millions of other folks that, if given the word, would become those individuals instantly, you're sadly mistaken. I remember asking this question to Jane Elliott, and her answer was kind of, here and there. But what is the benefit to a white nationalist parents that love their little Billy, love their little Sally? What is in their best interest, or why would it be in their best interest to ensure that a minority family would have the ability to give their kids economic viability to compete against the other folks' kids? And that's such a chilling question because it cuts right through the bullshit. It makes everything so personable that people either have to consciously deceive in their answering of that question, or they'll give out their real, honest, heartfelt truth. But if you take it a step past your kids and you think about their children, your children's children, that's when you understand how white supremacy works. Keeping the collective together as a core, keeping that genetic stock okay, allowing others to come around and kind of get some crumbs off the table. And they'll be a buffer against the lower tier, the lower class. Because there's many of you brothers and sisters, without one drop of melanization in your skin, you cannot go to Mar-a-Lago. You can't get a business loan. And yes, you do live in the hood. So when we look at the thing for what it truly is, and you understand that even it is willing to sacrifice its own people for, I guess, the betterment of the wealthy establishment or the oligarchs within it, then you understand why, as long as we are not unified at the bottom, as long as we, we can interact or whatever, but we're really not integrated nor unified. It's just like they're buying time. Buying time so that when they strike, it is total and it's complete. How many old men out there just passed away in the past year? How many babies in the past year did not get born because of abortion or even miscarriage? How many young people have been murdered, life artificially cut short by whatever means, poison, gunshots, suicide, whatever? All that has a cumulative effect in a military analysis of the situation. We have better understand, as we lose biomatter, we gain spiritual presence. I know it's hard to believe, but as you lose basically members, physical life forces that are represented in bodies on this plane of existence, as you lose that collectively as a group, those of you who are tuned in get amplified. Almost like a genocide fail-safe system. But I don't want to see that shit go active. I want to check out something else. I want to see if homeless man charged with killing the 4 others. Damn. Oh, this is what I was going to talk about too. All right. Now, while some of you guys are eating cheeseburgers and trying to live glory days, China is not playing around. Let me get this off. China's not playing around. Let's ask Google a question. China is editing human DNA with CRISPR. With its CRISPR revolution, China becomes a world leader. So while you're driving around eating your damn cheeseburgers, America's listen to your music and banging your head, these people are making scientific leaps and bounds. And seeing how many of you guys aren't religious or spiritual whatsoever, and you're really living on, I guess, the remnants of the glory days, World War II, kicking ass and taking names, when they actually slice and dice the human genome and they make their version of the Uber man and Uber woman, they're going to be as prolific as these gigantic pigs. I want you to see this picture of these pigs that are growing. Now, this kind of goes back to what Jane Elliott was talking about as well with the hog confinements in Iowa. The reason why they had the hog confinements is because they had to feed damn near 2 billion people on a daily basis. All right? The 5 kilograms or 1,102 pounds animal is part of a herd that's being bred to become giant swine. At slaughter, some of the pigs can sell for more than 10,000 yen. That's 1,399 US dollars. Over 3 times higher than the average monthly disposable income in Nanning, the capital of Shanghai province, where Hong Kong, the farmer owner, lives. Okay, are you not going to show me a picture of the damn pig? Oh, they had the pictures earlier. Hold on. Let me refresh this. China breeding giant pigs the size of polar bears, but okay. No, we're not going to stop here. I don't know why this story is so radically different than the other one. But we're going to go to images. You have to see these images. They're just mind-blowing. There's a grown woman sitting on a pig. Just think how much... Sister Janice, welcome to the show. Peace, power, unity, victory, and liberation. Where is more of these super pigs? I guess it's just up here at the top. But look at this, man. 17. Look at this huge thing. I mean, how many people like him can eat on something like that? Let's don't forget, everything from that little snooty snoot to the jolly jaws to the ears to that little tail back there, the hooves, everything, the guts, everything. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Bosnian pigs. They, here's the thing. Probe urge after pork found in Bosnian army. What? Oh, the defense minister was urged to investigate as discovering that Muslim soldiers have been unwittingly eating pork that was labeled as beef in their food ration. Like I said, guys, this world is being artificially induced into famine so those at the top can feast. The duality's here. You can't stop it. All I'm saying, human beings, those of you who understand the real message of the show, who understands what I'm really trying to achieve here, is that we have the potential to be one of the most noblest races in all of the universe. But we also have the potential to be a bunch of self-absorbed, narcissistic, psychopathic, unempathetic swine that roots and sloughs around in a pig pen of money. We do nasty, wicked things to each other without any type of justice. Because the bottom line is, and most of you guys know it in your heart, if everybody was judged right now and they truly got what they truly deserve, most of you guys would be crying. Only a few will be smiling, knowing that they done right. Some people are so far gone. Put it this way: whoever knowingly put that pork in the package and served it to the Muslim men and women serving in their armed forces, someone knowingly knew what was in there. They were doing that to psychologically mess with those people. They were doing it to spiritually mess with those people. They were doing it because they have evil and hate in their heart. And even though they're in the same armed forces, even though they're supposed to be protecting the same corporate interests of Bosnia, that religious thing always rears its ugly head. Most people are always loyal to two masters: their earthly lord or king or president or prime minister, and their internalized version of the Most High. Whether it's the flying spaghetti monster or Kermit the Frog, it does not matter. And when a person is operating from that zone, the religious dogmatic zone that shuts out everyone else, that, my friend, is when the whole system truly breaks down. And it is breaking down. And if we don't understand how to fix it, then it will never be fixed. And I'm telling you, there's only one way to fix it. And it's terribly unpopular. Love and reconciliation. And honest distribution of resources. No more gatekeeping and stifling. No more backstabbing and sabotaging. Like one day the politicians will say, peace with safety. If there is no true peace, you, my friend, will never be safe until the genocide happens. But even then, like I already told you, to win is to lose. So many more. And then the ones who are left are going to be living such a regimented, whack-ass existence, void of any creativity, only meant to follow orders, be a cog in the machine. To win is to most certainly lose. So on that note, this concludes TPIM SR Live. Today's date, October 6, 2019, the year of our Lord. I want to thank the Most High for yet again allowing me the opportunity to come on this show and host it. Live your life with integrity without hate, envy, or greed. As always, brothers and sisters, I ask you to please be kinder to one another. Peace, power, unity, victory, liberation. I'm out.